The things I talk about, I'm trying to show you that these things are repeating with a level of precision, consistency, and continuity that is outside the scope of what would be reasonable in this industry. And that should be encouraging. It should be very encouraging. And if it can be like that for me, and it can be like that for my students, then it can be like that for you too. But you have to do what? You have to show up every day, and you have to go through the motions like everybody else that's making big money with this stuff. They didn't learn it right away. They floundered with it. They hemmed and hawed and thought, oh, well, I'm probably going to quit. Everybody feels like that once in a while. It's like exercising. You think you're going to get the 21-inch guns just because you started working out 3 weeks ago. But I'm drinking protein shakes. It takes time, man. And this is no different. It's actually it's way different. It's really harder because you're competing with your expectations that are many times unrealistic, which is the reason why I teach you to do very low-hanging fruit objectives. 5 handles is easy, folks. Easy. How many times have you sat with a live stream and said, okay, it's going to do this, it's going to be 5 handles, boom, it delivers it. Okay, it's going to go down here, boom, that's going to be 5 handles. 5 handles are all over the place. You could be making 20 handles a day in a market that ain't seeing sustained one-way runs of 20 handles. It's just back and forth. It takes time to get there. Are you willing to give yourself that permission to develop over time? Because sometimes you aren't. Some of you listening haven't really given yourself permission to take the time that's required for you uniquely finding your own model, not trying to keep up with your friend on social media circle. The guy that put you into trading, you want to catch up to him, or your girlfriend that's been, starting the same time as you. She's understanding a little bit more and you're trying to keep up with her. That's not how you're supposed to be doing this. If you're competing with someone else outside of yourself, you're doing it improperly. And that's a market truth. You can't do those things and grow, well, at a normal growth rate without having performance anxiety, regret, remorse because you can't keep up with someone else. I mean, you've seen me do many times, several instances of over 100 handles, 80 handles, 50 handles when the market's moving like that. But what am I teaching you? Am I saying go after those moves like that? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying go in, look for 5 handles. Because every session, London, New York AM, lunchtime, New York PM session, all of them have an opportunity for you to go in there very, very easily and pull out 5 handles. Every single session. Every single one of them. Now, is that me inviting you to go out there and do that? No. It just shows you that you have an open field of opportunity where you can just go out there and take it by force. When you know what you're looking for, how to anticipate it, how to stalk your prey, and know when it's going to show up. When you're a hunter, I can't hunt. I just can't bring myself to do it. I guess if I got hungry enough, I'd go out and kill something. But hunters, they go out, they buy these trail cams, and they put it up and they leave it out there for a week or so, and then come back and download it and see if there's any deers coming around. And it tells them the time and the date and when they see them. So then they will know what they have an inside advantage that they need to put their tree stand up, hours before this thing usually comes through, and they just wait around for it. Okay. Well, that same thing happens when you see what it is I'm teaching. I've already set these trail cams up. They're windows in trading, the kill zones. I know the macros is going to happen. I know what the market's going to do. I know when the price is going to spool. I know what liquidity it's going to reach for. And I'm not talking out of my ass because I'm proving it on Twitter, live in tweets that can't be augmented or changed. I'm not deleting anything. And you see it in the live streams, live, right over the 1 minute candle. That should be building confidence in you. And I love seeing the students that are seeing at the end of the live streams are like, I felt amazing watching that. I felt so comfortable watching how price was moving. And you would say it was going to do this, and it did it. And then you would expect it to do that, and it did it. And then it delivered the next thing you said. That is not randomness. That's not randomness. And it should be very comforting that you're in good hands. You're with somebody that has the ability to transfer this information to you. Just look around. There's people making lots of money with it. Does that mean you're going to go out and make lots of money with it too? Probably not, because you're going to mess it up if you don't listen. We all do that. But you're growing in your understanding about it. And these elements of time, coupled with liquidity, coupled with inefficiencies and repricing to make them efficient, meaning a fair value gap gets repriced to. So it's no longer one candle holding all of that price action alone. It's now been fortified by a redelivery of opposing market delivery. So a down close candle, that's a fair value gap. We have an up candle trading up into that range. So now we have a repricing. Once it leaves that range and goes away from it, then it's rebalanced. What is it going to look for then? An opposing pool of liquidity or an opposing array that is inefficient that needs to be made efficient. How hard is that? That's not hard. It's very easy. It's not complicated at all. What makes it complicated is you want to know the daily bias every single day flawlessly. That's the hang up that most of my students have coming into me and asking me to teach them. If you could just teach me a real simple 5-minute video on how I can know the bias and I can do the rest. No, you'll lose money. You'll lose money. You'll do it. You'll go in there and you'll rush to get in, or you'll wait for confirmation and it'll move too far, and you'll try to use a stop loss that isn't reasonable. It's going to pull back in a normal retracement, stop you out, which would be a new buy signal, but you won't see that because you're now upset. And then it market runs away and you think, oh, this is crap. Nobody makes money with ICT concepts. When it's you rushing to do something that you don't know how to do. It's simple, but you don't want to see that. Just like I have students out there that are raising up pitchforks and torches. We're going to get you, ICT. Your shit don't work. Well, I got receipts that says otherwise, and I got people all around the world proving it does. And I'm doing live streams proving it does, and there it is. But you're going to be just like them if you don't listen to me. And I told them the same things I'm telling you right here in those long, drawn-out lectures over live data, just like you watched me do today and just like you watched me do on Tuesday. And if you can't learn under those teaching lectures like that, I promise you, listen, okay, listen. I want you to understand how I don't need your ass to watch me. I don't need your ad revenue. I don't need you to support me on Twitter. I don't need any of that stuff. I'm here for the people that want to learn. But if you don't see value in the things I'm doing, in the amount of time I'm pouring into you, this is not ad revenue generated here. I'm talking to you with no monetization. And this is where the real shit is. This is where the real lecturing, the real mentoring, this is where it's at. Because I've already talked about those live stream things that I'm pointing at. That's already been explained to you. Some of you just need to see, can he really do it? Yes, of course I can. My students would have outed me years ago. Every year I was saying, if I'm not calling these markets live right now, every day, behind my paywall, all my students come out here and say I'm a fraud, that I'm not calling it right. And it never happened. You know what I got? More people signing up. And they found out that it was just like that. And you're seeing just what I was doing with them. It's just like this. It's been like this for years. It didn't just start working. But some of you think that this now just started working, or it's going to stop working because I have a lot of students. The algorithms, they're going to change their algorithm, Michael. Here's the market truth. It ain't fucking changing. It's not. Oh, they're going to change the tier 1, tier 2. It's not changing shit. It's not going to change anything. That's not changing anything. Trust me, okay? This stops working when you cannot trade, period. You're going to see by submitting and listening to these conversations, because I want you to look at me not as your educator. I want you to look at me like your best friend in the marketplace. I'm the voice of reason for you. I'm the person that's trying to keep you on the right track, not over leverage, not risk, not gamble. Look for things that make sense and stay on the well-beaten track, the trail that I've forged for you. I've walked this path a lot. I know it. I can walk it blindfolded. You haven't. You don't know where the thorn bushes are. You don't know where that little root that sticks up in the ground that nobody else that knows about it would trip over, but I know where it's at. You don't know where the pitfalls are. You don't know where the poison ivy is. You don't know any of that stuff. So I'm lending you my experience through Twitter, calling out specific levels and watching what it should reach for. And I'm giving you those opportunities to have that epiphany, that moment of astonishment where you're like, oh man, I see this. This keeps happening. There's something to this. It can't be random. Right, it's not. I've been telling you all that it's not random. But some of you have to have that experience before you ever put any work into it. But you don't constantly have to be learning new stuff to be profitable, which is the point of this discussion tonight, unfolding truths. You don't need much, but you need to know what it is that you're looking for. For instance, the opening range. That first 30 minutes of trading the ES. ICT, why don't you talk about Forex? I don't want to talk about Forex right now. My attention's on futures. The things I'm teaching you work in Forex. So just take the information and apply it to Forex. Just like you all that trade crypto. You've heard me say I'm not interested in crypto. And the ones that are very respectful said, okay, well, I'm not going to bother the man about it no more. I'm going to trade it. But, he's not going to do it. So I can't twist his arm. And he's an old dog, doesn't want to learn new tricks. And there it is. And you just filter it out. Well, I'm asking you, if you're a Forex trader, filter out the fact that I'm not talking about Forex. I'm still talking about Forex. I'm still telling you, from a macro perspective, where the dollar's going to go, where's the pound going to go, and the euro dollar's going. But I don't need to do it every single day, because where I'm giving you analysis, it takes time for those big moves to pan out. That's swing trading models. So I'm giving you that approach where I don't have to babysit it every single day. And also by understanding that if I'm using market analysis concepts from a macro perspective, risk on, risk off, if ES is dropping, or I'm expecting to be bearish, what do you think I'm expecting for the dollar index? It's going to go higher. Dave, if you're listening, you want to have the dollar index in your analysis, even when you're trading the ES, because market symmetry is perfect when it's like this. Dollar up, ES down, foreign currencies down. All lower lows and higher highs are confirmed across the board. That's market symmetry. As soon as you start seeing ES higher, Forex higher, and dollar not going lower, but consolidating, that means that you have a condition that's manipulation. That means that ES and or Forex can go up higher high, and then the real move starts happening. So it's important to not just throw out the dollar index because you're watching two markets. It's important to understand how market symmetry aids the trader's perspective and analysis technique, because there's a different degree of market delivery, whether it be high resistance. High resistance would be in conditions like where the dollar index is being held in consolidation. And you can still see Forex pairs going up, ES going up, but dollar fail to make the lower low. That means you have to trade that differently. What kind of environment is that? That's high resistance. You're going to have to go through something before you get your targets met. Versus a symmetrical market. See, these are the things you're supposed to be writing down. This is $1 million making stuff here, folks, okay? I mean, I ain't going to bullshit you. This is the stuff that makes your trading superior to everybody else. But you don't realize it because you're not in these discussions taking notes and going into your chart saying, oh, wow. Man, he ain't lying. It's right there. Right. Yes. Right. You got things to do, losing money. Okay. You got a real fast track on losing money. And then you're going to be down 3 months later saying ICT concepts don't work. Let me go over here and trade this Yahoo's stuff. You're the problem. I'm not. You are. Because I'm laying it out here. All of it, it's happening for free. And I'm proving it live. But you don't want to listen because you think your time's too valuable right now when this is an investment in yourself. I feel like you're worth it. Listen, man, I don't need to do this stuff. Like, I don't need to do this. I'm not priming you for another mentorship run where I can get more money out of any of you. I'm doing this because I love it. This is my life. This is what I've been doing my entire life. I love this. I love teaching people how to do it. I love transforming people's lives and their mindset about who they are as a person and what they can accomplish. And if I believe that you're worth investing the time and energy in, why the fuck aren't you? Why don't you think that about yourself? No, I ain't got time for that. Give me the the commercial grade 5-minute trainer version of this stuff. And then you wonder why you got dollar menu results. It's not because the concepts don't work. It's because you're half-assing it. You're using a half-ass mentor, watered down Cliff Notes version of what I'm pouring out, walking you through the logic, why it should do this and why it shouldn't do that. There's reasons for these things to be even talked about. And while you might not understand it, I don't like all these other PD arrays. Well, in the beginning, you got to know all of them. Doesn't mean you're going to use all of them, going into your career. But you need to understand all of them until you settle in on the one you like. Now, some of you might feel like, I feel comfortable trading the breaker when it broke away from it and came back up and retested it. I'm used to seeing it. That's what I want to do because you're comfortable. Well, guess what? Don't let me change or anyone else talk you out of it. That's your model. Bloom where you're planted. But you can't just go out there and say, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know this model or any model really, but it's just too much stuff. I'm not going to do it. But then you're lazy. That's the bottom line. You're lazy. And I don't want to see people adding my handle on Twitter talking shit like that. So I mute them. I'm not trying to block them so they can't see anything I teach, but I just don't want to see that shit. So I hit mute and there it is. You can talk out your ass all you want, but you're doing it with a half-ass approach. And you're going to be that same person months down the road that will not find the results that other students of mine are doing, and they're killing it. And you'll walk away thinking that, this isn't all that. Wonderful. Move on down the road. Like, I'm not here for you to worship me. I'm here to invest my time and energy into you, and I can leave social media in November and not have to worry about it because I know I've done more than enough. In the beginning, you want to have all your critical thoughts written out. And then over time, while you're building your model and you're back testing, you're not recording anxiety or stress-driven annotations. You're recording the perspective that you knew it was going to happen. And you're tricking your brain with positive self-talk, which cancels out all of the necessary evils that come in the beginning for a trader for them to want to quit. You're going to cancel that because you're feeding yourself positive self-talk. The move, you may not have seen it coming and you're looking at it in hindsight, but you're recording it in your journal like you did. And your subconscious retains that. And because you're seeing something that repeats because of the way it forms, fair value gaps and delivery to old lows and old highs and imbalances. When you're watching it live with me, and I've saw some people today, they were commenting, and it's not just today, I've seen it several times in the past when I was doing the live streams, that you're anticipating before I say what it is I'm saying. You're already seeing it. And you're saying that it feels good that you're seeing it before I say it. That's exactly what you want to experience. In the beginning, you may not feel like that. And that's okay. That's why I'm doing the live streams. I want to teach you. I want to teach you by example with my ability to be able to do it real time with you. I'm comfortable doing it. I'm confident. I'm comfortable. I'm good at it. You're in good hands. I'm doing it enough so that way you can go in and then do it on the days I'm not doing it and practice. Record what your observations are and not be emotionally strung out because it doesn't pan out like you want. Because you're going to have that in days where you're going to try to put a trade on and it's not going to move in your favor. And you're going to wrestle with that. And some of you are going to get angry. Some of you are going to be resentful and you're going to do something stupid. You're going to over leverage. You're going to trade too much and you're going to hurt your account or blow it, lose your funded account. And I'm trying to teach you how not to do those things, how to focus on times when you know it's going to be hard when I say it's going to be a high resistance liquidity run. Doesn't mean it can't move. It just means that it's going to be it's almost like the price is being argumentative. Yeah, it's going to go there, but it's going to be begrudgingly about it. I don't want to go there, bub. Okay. I don't want to go to that buy side right when you want it. I don't want to do it then. I'll do it on my own time. That's what it feels like when I try to personify what price action is doing. Like if I'm arguing internally with price, like, why aren't you doing what I wanted to do? Why aren't you doing why aren't you submitting to what I know you should be doing right now? And I view it as it's arguing with me saying, listen, you want me to do it. So therefore I'm not going to do it. Like my wife, can you do this? Look, I'll do it when I'm ready to do it. Well, it is then, right? It's done. Submit to the process, right? So with price, in a low resistance liquidity, it's almost like it wants to do it before you ask it. It's telegraphing. I'm going here. Everybody's stop is up here, okay? And I'm going to go up there for you. And I'm going to do it really fast because I don't want you to grow impatient, ICT. It's going to be so quick for you. All you have to do is to sit back and let me reach your limit order. I promise you, big guy, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to take it right home. Boom, baby, I'm going to give it right to you. And that's what it feels like. It feels like Christmas morning. And that's what you're trained to see as my student. Because there's a totally different experience trading those types of markets, those days, those sessions, where it just feels like, what the hell just happened? That was so easy. And here's the problem with it. This is the part where you write this down, okay? When you have these windfall victories in these low resistance liquidity run conditions, when you have that win, it's like, man, that took like no effort at all. It was very fast. I got to go in there and do it again. That's the trap. That is the trap. When you have these easy windfall days, these goobers out there that like the sock puppet and troll people because they can't get attention, they'll tell you, you got to push your edge and don't take partials. You got to go in there and do it again and then lose what you made. If not all of it, some of it, which is stupid. You're throwing good money after bad. The point is, the trade in these environments, get your easy wins and go home happy about it. We're not in this industry to do lots of trading. I took 15 freaking trades today and they were 12 wins out of 15, baby. Look at me. I'm an ace. Really? I went in there and traded for 20 minutes, made your whole monthly salary, and I went out and started watching movies and playing with my kids in the park. And you're out here sweating, trying to get 15 trades and didn't even do half what I did. See a difference there? Everybody's perspective is skewed. Mine is, I want to go in when it makes the most sense to do it. I want to be in there, easy, in and out, bang, it's done. I want to be in the trades that run, not just hang around. I'll get there when I get there, ICT. Just hold your britches. I don't like that. I like shit my way. They named streets after me, one way. And I want my way, okay? Some of you come to me, you want to have it your way mentorship, like it's Burger King here. It ain't Burger King. We're not flipping fucking burgers, okay? We're flipping accounts. Okay, we're taking things to whole new levels here. And we want to go in when there's a jetpack behind our trade and just boom, it's gone. Now we're talking hyperspace. We're not wasting time wondering when it's going to move. We know when it's going to move. We know how it's going to move. And it's going to be quick about it. Expedient delivery. That's what you're being trained to look for. You can't appreciate it or identify it until you see these types of conditions. You won't understand it. You won't see the difference. The characteristics are different. For instance, look at how it traded this morning going up. It was a little lethargic for a little bit, and then boom, 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 ran up into that 40 level. Then it had a little bit of give and take back and forth as it was dropping down. And then once it got below that 40-10 level, that new week opening gap, and then traded back up into the daily fair value gap SIBI high, that was it. Then we entered into what? Low resistance liquidity run. Where's it going to reach for? Filling in that opening range gap. The difference between where we opened in the morning at 9:30 and where we closed in the regular session hours yesterday. And I walked you through it live in the afternoon. You can't appreciate it until you see both sides of it. And when I'm prompting you, I'll say, you want to log how you feel right now. Some of you think that that means go into your journal and bitch to yourself about how it's hard. No, you need to be saying prices being very fickle. It's being very, demanding of my patience. It's not delivering as fast as I would like to see it do. You see how that sounds versus this market sucks. This is Chop City. This is garbage. This is trash market conditions, blah, blah, blah. How's that useful? It emotionalizes that experience where now you're viewing it subconsciously because you put that in your journal. Oh, this is trash. This is garbage trading conditions. So now, is that going to be a market environment that you're going to feel comfortable with? If you see a setup, you might see the setup. You might want to take the setup, but subconsciously, you don't realize it, but it's manifesting underneath the surface in your psychology of how you're interpreting how that price is going to likely deliver. You're going to tap into that negative recording in your journal that you spiced up with negative reinforcements, trash market conditions, which means what? It's probably going to be scary. So subconsciously, you see the setup, yeah, but subconsciously you're thinking, man, I'm probably going to lose on this. This is probably really low probability, but you're going to try to wrestle with it, which means what now? You're in a trade or about to take a trade, and you're in a divided mind. You see a signal, you want to take the trade, but you've tainted your subconscious. So now you have fear. You engineered fear in your next trade because you recorded something in your journal or you posted something on social media. You had a conversation with somebody else that's trading and you said that you suck as a trader. You're not able to get this stuff to work and you can't ever get it and it's always failing on you, blah, blah, blah. You're reinforcing subconsciously that you're a loser. What do you think is going to happen when you start pushing the button? That's going to manifest itself in your actions. Just look at YouTubers out there that are toxic. They're doing it to themselves, trying to make themselves look better than me, and they're blowing their ass out right in front of everything and killing their entire brand. And all I'm doing is sitting back watching them do it. They're doing it to themselves, just like you're going to do it to yourself. If you do these things, you have to coach yourself. You have to cheerlead yourself. You have to pamper yourself in that journal. That journal is your love letter to yourself. That's the encouragement. That's the letter to your future self. These are the things that I have thought about for you. I'm planning all these things for you, your future self. You're writing all that to that person that you're developing into. But are you feeding that person positivity? Or are you choking it and strangling it with negativity? It's real important. And you might think that, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Journaling's for the weak ones. I don't need a journal. I just go in here and I take my trades. I got a model, I got an edge, and I got time to mess around with that journal stuff. I'm going to tell you that's a person that ain't making money consistently. I'm going to tell you that's a person that's going to be an emotional basket case while they're trading. They'll be highly emotional. Like if you listen to me talking, like there's no difference between that and me reading a book about fishing. And I'm not a fisher. Like it'd be the same thing. This guy's putting me to sleep, man. What the hell's going on? That's what it's like. When you know what you're doing, that's what it's like. And you want it to be that way. You don't want neon lights and rave shit and music pumping around. And now it's emotional stimuli. No. When you're learning, it needs to be boring. Now, when you get good, you know your model. You want to play some, blasting music that gets you all fired up. The ride of the Valkyries, if that's your thing, right? Whatever it is that gets your juices flowing, when you know which you're looking for and the model's there in the charts and you're in the right day and everything's lined up. Sure. Yeah, man. Like my speakers are blaring. Like it's my upstairs is pulsating. I have a lot of sound coming out of but hey, that's my thing. But I'm not telling you as a developing student to do that while you're studying. It's counterproductive. You want to bring yourself to a level of anticipation, knowing that these things are likely to form, when they're likely to form, and how they're likely to form in a boring condition, because you're not presenting any invitation for emotional stimuli, which will be distracting in your early development. You want to see every boring detail. This is what this chart should be doing. This is what this candle should do. It should not do these things. It should be allowed to do that, but not do this. Okay. And you're learning all that. And I can't write a book. Okay. I can't write a book that's going to say these things in words and it make any sense to you. That's why when I mentor, I was doing live sessions and I was reading price to them, just like you're watching me. And I'm sure there was people today watching me do that. And they said, this guy didn't push a button. He didn't enter a trade. He's talking all this stuff and the market moved and he didn't do anything. I was teaching people how to submit themselves to price delivery. And I also talked about how when you're in a move, I guarantee you these people that are very critical, they're probably getting in there and getting 3 handles or getting 6 pips in a Forex move, panicking the entire time, not realizing all the other move that's still in the price action because they're emotional. They're making everything a competition with themselves and everyone else. And everybody that's highly competitive, they're shitting themselves on social media. Just look around. None of them can carry themselves forward consistently. They're all wrecking themselves because they're trying to do something this industry is not meant to do. Compete